proficient in tweeting and daring. Like that, daring. You're ready to hit the market. Now, those things I just said, what defines you? They are what you call the conceptual definitions. They are who you are. They are what you bring to the marketplace. They are not external to you. You bring yourself to the marketplace. You have something to give to the market. For me, I use 3 words to describe myself. The first one, I say excellent. So when I step in, we're about to do it at the very best possible standard. No matter what it is, it's a drive. Once we come in, we're going to do it at the highest possible known standard. Right? Another word that describes me is personal. You can create yours. Another word is helpful. I'd like to help you. What's the problem? I want to hear it. I want to solve it. Let's change it. Let's improve it. Helpful. And the third one is prosperous. Plenty, more than enough. Now, that is what I bring to the marketplace. That's what I am about to sell. In whatever good or service that I bring to the market, that is what I'm going to sell to you. Or, that is what you're going to experience when you do business with me. When I finish doing business with you and I turn my back to leave, I will leave a savor with you. I will keep singing in your mind. Now, that's excellent. Oh, that was extremely helpful. Wow, that was prosperous. That was, I can see prosperity. You're leaving something behind when you finish doing business with someone. Have you ever done business with somebody? He paid you and he was very profuse in his thanks, in his gratitude. Has never happened before. You did something for someone and he paid you. He paid you a fee. He paid you. After paying you that fee, he followed over and said, thank you. I'm so grateful. That was so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You brought something beyond a good or a service. You brought yourself into the business place. That's the conceptual definition. Conceptual definition actually is an advertising term, like I said. Who are you? It's a branding concept. It's a concept of branding. All brands start from that conceptual definition. Who are you? What are you bringing to the marketplace? So you find that what you're selling most times is not just the tangible good or service. There's something you're leaving behind. These are the secrets of success in business. So that's who you are, the conceptual definition. Who do you want to be? You must write it down. Who do you want to be? Now, assuming you start business today, first of all, let's make one assumption. All from this training, make one assumption. Let that assumption be that money is not the problem. Assume that all the money you need to do all that you need to do, you will get. Assume, remove that cover, blow it up. So think free, think wild, think big. Assume that money is not the limiting factor. Okay, let's assume that. Can we do that? So if money was not a problem, who do you want to be without money being an issue? Think about it in a business context. I'm not talking about who you want to be. I want to be the chief of, I want to be the big man of, no, that's not what I'm talking about. Who do you want to be? When people do business with you, how do you want them to see you? What would your institution be like in another 5 years? What should your institution be like? Let's assume we have a company called Monday Ventures. Monday Ventures. In another 5 years, what should Monday Ventures be like? What should it be like in 5 years' time? Think about it today. Close your eyes and think about Monday Ventures. In 5 years' time, what should it be like? What should it be like? What should it be like in 5 years' time? Think about it. I'm not about to just lecture you and do. I want you to do what I'm saying. Think about it. Your business in another 5 years, what should it look like? Conceptualize it. Don't think about the problem. Don't think about money or the risks. Just think about the possibility. 5 years from now, what should your business look like? Is it possible to write it down? Is it possible to write it down? The truth is, that which you want to be in 5 years' time is what companies call the mission statement. That is the vision statement. Whatever you wrote down is your vision statement. To be the biggest, to be the first, to be the whatever, to be what you want to be in another 5 years, in another 10 years, or whatever your planning or your vision horizon is, whatever you want to be. Or you already are something. There are 3 words that describe you, am I correct? But the vision is what you like to bring to the market. And when the market looks at you in 5 years' time, this is what they will say about you. Sometimes you are something inside, right? But people don't know who you are. They don't see. They cannot describe you by who you truly are to be. That is your vision. These things are important. The reason I'm saying them to you is because they're not just conceptual. They are business drivers. They are business drivers. If you know what you want to be in 5 years' time, it will affect it. There are certain businesses you want to do, or there are certain businesses you will do. Right? Or they might pay now, the roadmap. Okay, in 5 years' time, this is what we want to do. Today we will do this, tomorrow we will do that, year 2 we will do that, year 3 we will do that, year 5. So can we what we want to do? Today you can decide, these are the kind of people that we need, that will help us get there in 5 years' time. It's a statement of who you want to be. Now the third component is, what do you want to do? What you want to do might be different from who you want to be. But many times they are related. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, I want to be the biggest company in Nigeria, provide portable clean water to all rural community. That's what I want to do. And that is who I want to do it for, to provide portable water, drinking water to all the rural community. He says, that is what I want to do, and that's who I want to do it for. I'm clear about it. So for you, what do you want to do, and for who? I'm talking about your business. What do you want to do, and for who? Whatever your answer is, that is your vision statement. That is what a mission statement is. A mission statement is a simple statement of what you want to do and for who. It's different from a mission statement, which is what you want to be. So a mission statement will be something like to provide, to do something. While a vision statement will always be to be. You get it? I'm saying that these are essential business drivers. Nobody can define it for you. You have to define it by yourself. If you haven't defined these concepts yet, then you're still preliminary in your business startup or planning process. Businesses are not, I just spoke, my neighbor is selling gala, me too. I go and carry gala, I want to sell as well. No. That business can thrive for 6 months, but it will fail very soon. If God has nothing to do with your business. Separate question. Is there anybody here who does not want God to bless his business? Let me ask you positively. How many of you want God to bless your business? Everybody. Question. Why should God bless your business? Why should God be interested in your business? I was going to give you the answer. Why should God be interested in your business? Yes. Okay. That you're selling. You understand? Meaning, run your business in such a manner that people can come to you and say, how much should I pay for this business? Not for the product, for the business. If the truth again, that book I talked about, The Guide to Invest by Robert Kiyosaki, he said the ultimate investor, the richest people are people who create businesses, sell the business, and then start another one. Recently, it was in the news that Dangote sold a percentage of Dangote flour for so much billions. I can't remember the numbers, about $25 billion. For so much billions. Probably a business that he started How much capital? He grew it, made the processes excellent. Somebody now walks up to him and says, you know what, I want to buy this business from you. Part of this business. I want to buy 60% of this business, and I'm going to pay you 25 billion. You are the real rich people. Think about it. Your business, you can grow it, you can build it. In a manner that somebody will come from abroad and look, I'm looking for a business to buy. Oh, this is a good business. Can I buy 50% of your business? Let's run it together. I'll bring technical skills. I'll bring whatever. I'll bring new way of doing things. I'll bring technology. Give me 50%. Those are the real businessmen. Not the people that sell whatever people sell. Pure water or whatever they manufacture. So the point is this. Seek to build the business in a manner that you can sell it. In a manner that you can take it to the stock exchange and people will buy the shares of the business. Now you are a real businessman. If you're just about selling bottled water or selling Coke, you're not in business. You haven't understood the principles yet. Ultimate principle will be to build your business in a manner that people can buy it. How many of you know the McDonald's story? How many of you do? How many of you have eaten McDonald's? The story of McDonald's, how did it become the global hamburger chain all around the world? How did it become so? I talked about it this week in some other place I spoke. McDonald's was started by two brothers. Because the McDonald brothers. But these two boys, all they knew to do was to make hamburgers and sandwiches. That's all. They had no idea about any other thing. It's how to make hamburgers and sandwiches. A gentleman walks up to the shop to buy a hamburger one day. Ray Kroc. I'm sure you know the name. A gentleman called Ray Kroc. He walks up to buy a hamburger. And while he was waiting to be served, he observed the way it was working. The way it was working. Sandwiches coming out. The same quality, consistently, timely, efficient process. He was amazed. Wow. Automated. When I say automated, not machines. It was like working like a clock. Sandwiches were coming out perfectly, the same size, the same quality, same time, coming out. Ray Kroc saw a business. He didn't see the sandwich anymore. And said to himself, this is a prototype. We can replicate this in many places. Not just in one shop. The McDonald brothers were just making sandwich. But another guy saw a business. He bought the business, no longer the sandwich. The McDonald brothers were in the business of producing and selling sandwiches. But Ray Kroc was in the business of buying and selling businesses. So when you build your business, no matter how small, make it such that somebody can walk up to you and say, can I partner with you? I like the way it's working. Or can you even send it to me? I want to buy it. The collect is, tell him, for this business, 100 million naira. They have cost only 50,000 to start it. But the value to that guy is 100 million naira. He will pay you. You collect your money, go and set up another business, and you sell it again. I had a friend, who built a house in Parkview Estate. He built a company.
It's just what I want.
Okay, thank you. Remember I said you can work with consultants. You don't have, I can talk to you later, introducing you to one or two people who can help in that area. Okay? Also remember what I said the entrepreneur does. He's the one that has the idea. What he does is to get the manager and get the technician. So you may not be the one to do it, but there are people that you can assemble that will do it and do it very well. Yours is just to oversee that process and have the picture in your mind of the solution, what it really is.
My name is Idori Foma. I'm a social media strategist. One of the key things you said is that vision is where you want to be, which tells me that over time, vision is tweaked. Is that true? As you approach your vision, you change it.
Absolutely.
Alright. If that is the case, I am a very visionary entrepreneur. I fall into visionary technical. But as a startup, I really want to manage my cash too. Now my problem is, I want to manage my cash flow. I don't want to have so much overhead. How do I go about that when I'm not 3 in 1? Thank you so much.
What you call my name? Okay, my name is Don Okofo. Let me, it's on the first slide. It's very, I didn't want you to focus on it, so I made it very small. Yeah, I want you to focus on it. Of course, they change over time. Now, most visions